I hurt you, the most beautiful followers. I am charming. I was married and now divorced. After I was fired, I took my children and went to live far away and to pay the rent. I came down to work and went around a lot to find a job. Thank God, I found a job. I found a job in a real estate office. And I said in my mind, it is not a problem, God willing. To clear the office or make tea or anything. It is a job so that I know how to live from it and spend on children, and work is not a defect. All men are like this. And let me endure it until God honors something else. I preferred to work in the office for a while. There was a sofa in the office, and one day I was tired and exhausted. I said either I rest on the sofa a little, and from fatigue I went to sleep. After a little while, I found hands walking on my body, and his workers felt numb and smoothed over my head and hair. And you were horrified. I went and met the owner of the job. He is sitting next to me, and he said, you are not afraid. And you are not afraid. I am only sitting next to you. It's the first time I see an angel sleeping. And at that time, it was covered in red, and he kept answering color and color. I met him and he told me, there is an angel who is embarrassed. I told him, I will make tea for you. I met him. He says, why don't you sit down and don't worry about me? I want you and I want your beauty. I was scared at the time and I found him holding my hand and he came to me. I'm not going to get you an apartment instead of rent except you are sitting in it. Sebe works but he wants it. At that time, I felt that I needed him as much as I needed him, because for a long time I had not felt this feeling. I heard his words and lived him for the moment. And he lived for this moment because I was deprived of strength and I was tired and wanting. I just don't know what to do. And I worked with him, and he actually got an apartment. Just an apartment for rent. Only for 6 months. I spoke to him and told him, you are not going to buy me an apartment. I met him. He says, why can't I buy you an apartment? And I told him no. Not Haji. He said, why did you see if I didn't want to see you from the apartment unless you were in it, and I'm going to spoil you. And I will tell all people. I was your photographer and you slept with him, and I took about 20 audio and video videos for you. And you, Bardo, you were taking everything you need. And then I felt that I laughed at him twice. Once when he said why I will bring you an apartment, and the second time when you took a video. Every time he calls him, I am afraid I tell him no. Because he will take me away from work and he will get me out of the apartment and I don't know how to eat me and my children. And I can't do anything. And frankly, when he asks me to be happy and happy because I still feel that I am not deprived of this thing, and he is cold and rigid and severe and can adapt to anyone even though he is old. But his health is good and I am afraid to refuse his request. It is better to throw me in the street and cut off the expenses. I do not know how to eat me or my children. Nor do I know how to pay for the expenses of lessons and schools, and I am one of those who will be defeated. The wing is broken. and I told him he would marry me. But I found him rejecting the issue and wanting to live with him like this, without permission, and he says, why is this better? Let us like this friends and friends. Otherwise, you want him. I will do it for you. And I don't have any trick to force him to allow me. And I like to do this issue in the halal way. It has another taste and a beautiful feeling. And I asked you to think of why I think about how to marry him and how to influence him and let him pass me. I love halal children. And it has another taste. Support me, Blake, and subscribe to the channel. In order to bring you events from reality, stories and problems that we can solve together. Tomorrow, I will be waiting for you with a new story of married life.